What's up, and welcome to Unspoken Conversations. I'm James Crow, and here we talk about issues and situations that are in plain sight. Things that people hate to talk about, but it needs to be said, from relationships, families, friends, and life. Our goal is to shed light and understanding so that just maybe we can start to rebuild relationships, families, and ultimately, our communities. So, how many of you go into a situation with a new person and test them? You actually run tests on people as you're dealing with them, as you're learning them, as you're getting to know them. How many of you actually run tests on people to get a better understanding as to who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, and why? You ever think about that? Most people would think that this is playing games. I ain't got time to be playing games. I'm too old to be playing games. Man, I'm too mature to be playing games. I'm too player to be playing games. Yeah. All that shit sounds good in theory. Here's the problem. When you pick up a watermelon at the grocery store, do you tap on it and shake it? When you buy a pair of pants, do you try them on? When you buy a car, do you test drive it? When you get insurance, don't you check rates with different carriers before you just climb in there? Right? When you buy a phone, don't you play with multiple phones to compare before you just buy one? Because the comparison, there's going to always be something on the other end of the comparison. You have to shop around. You have to. Well, in the case of a relationship, when you get to know somebody, you ain't got to shop around, but you gotta run tests to see if this is really what it is. It is the same thing as trying on a pair of pants. You have to. Otherwise, you never know what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer that a wise man learns from other people's mistakes and a fool learns from his own. Why do I want to be a fool in this situation? I want to learn all there is to know about this person before I climb into bed with them. And when I say bed, I don't mean bed. I mean relationship. I want to know everything there is to know before this. I want to exhaust her mind before I exhaust her body, because I run the risk of me getting a fruitcake. You know what I mean? I run the risk of getting a fucking straight crazy person, and I ain't trying to deal with that. I just can't. I can't. I need to know everything there is to know before I get in bed with this chick. I just have to. You know what I mean? So I have a money test. I have a friends test. I have a family test. I have a time test. I have a lot of tests that I run on people to see what type of person I'm dealing with. And in many cases, when you run certain tests on people, they run. They tuck tail and they run. Now, I'm not saying they can't, because they have full possibility to do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. They can if I run a time test on somebody and they tuck tail and they go the opposite direction, that relationship was not meant for me. And I don't say, well, they were a bad person. No, I don't do that. I understand that some people it ain't for them. It ain't for them. But I also believe that when a person really likes you, they'll stick, they'll wait, they'll watch just long enough, and then they'll wait. So that's my opinion. I ain't talking about weeks on end. I'm not talking about that. But some hours, a couple days. Yeah, when a person really likes you, they'll wait and they'll give you the opportunity to speak on it, to clear the air so that there is no bad blood or there's no misunderstanding. In most cases, people will give you the time to clear the air. If they really fucks with you, if they really like you, they'll give you the time. You know what I mean? As long as you're not going overboard, as long as you're not going too far in and now you're being stupid. Now you're playing with people's emotions. I ain't talking about that though. So yeah, man, I really believe that you have to test people. You have to see where their mind is at. You have to see what they're capable of. You have to know what a person is capable of. You know what I mean? I, I've put a few different chicks that I've dealt with, put them around guy friends and left the room to see how she would perform under pressure. So, and I ain't talking about just one of my bust down ass friends. I'm talking about a dude that was handsome, who was clean, who had his shit together. You know what I mean? And depending on the type of woman that you're dealing with, she'll fold every time. Depending on the type of woman that you're dealing with, she'll fold every time. If you're dealing with a real woman, she don't see that shit. She wants you. She don't want nothing to do with him. She don't care if he's clean. She don't care if he got bread. She don't care how dope and clean his house is. Don't none of that matter. You dealing with a real one, she gonna be like, nah, back up. You tripping. You tripping. She gonna get on that phone. She gonna be like, where'd you go? Where you at? When you coming back? Because I don't like it here. She's gonna be like, yo, get back here. So, and just like that, she passed the friends test. You know what I mean? So numerous times I put girls in that situation. There's been a couple times where she didn't pass the test. And I'll tell my guy friend to go so far as if she'll open it, take it all the way. Take it all the way. Why? Because if she'll give it to him, it was never going to be mine. And I'm not going to stand in the way. I wouldn't feel no type of way if I gave him a 30-minute window and he didn't call, he didn't text. I know what it is. In 30 minutes, after 30 minutes, when I walk away from that room or from his crib or whatever, I'll go outside, mess with the car, whatever, just act like I'm taking a phone call, whatever. What doesn't matter? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go back in there. And if I walk in on something and they handling business, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. I ain't going to be mad. I ain't going to be upset with her. I know exactly what it is. And now I'm going to treat her like that from now on. I won't treat her like she was in a position to be a girlfriend. I'm going to treat her like she's in a position to be a whore. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people think that's bogus. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't act like you some high and mighty superwoman, but then you putting on a whore's outfit over here and over here and over here. It don't work like that. You're going to be one or the other. You're going to be real. You're going to be fraud. If you're going to be fraud, I'm going to treat you like you fraud. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to half-ass it. If you fraud, that's cool. I'm all right with that. I ain't got no issues with it. You know what I mean? But I know what I'm going to do. So, yeah. That test, that friends test, yeah, I'm real cool with. I'm real cool with certain shit. The money test, a whole another situation. Give a person enough money to see what they're gonna do with your money. You wait long enough to see if they'll give you the money back. So the thing that I said a while ago in one of my other messages about loaning people money, that is a form of the money test, but it is not the same because I don't give the money test to friends. Even though that's what that is, it's not intentionally giving them the money test. Because if I have friends and I never have to give them money, that is ideal. I never want to give a friend money thinking that I could potentially be taken advantage of, or they could potentially be, you know what I'm saying, just around for fringe benefits. I never want it to be that. So I hope I never have to give none of my friends money. I hope they never have to give me no money. But if they did, I'm giving the shit back. I don't care how much it is. This is about relationships. This is about relationships. The money test and the friends test pertains to relationships. If you give a person money, doesn't matter what it is, the golden opportunity will come around for them to need money. When you give it to them, how they handle the money and if they give the money back lets you know how they're going to treat you and treat your money from this day forward. If they will give you your money back and in a timely fashion, most likely you can trust this person with money. Now, we all know that you get 5-10 years into a relationship and you giving these people money. It's only a matter of time. You ain't getting no money back, especially if you're a dude and you got a little bit more money than your chick. You give your woman some money, you ain't getting it back, bro. I don't care who you are. You ain't getting that money back. That money gone. But that's in a longer relationship. But in the beginning, when you getting to know somebody, And when I say in the beginning, I don't mean like week 1, week 2. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying when you're just starting a relationship and you're maybe just a couple months in, right? If the golden opportunity comes for you to give them some money, they ask you for money. I'm not saying you offer, because this does not work when you offer. It does not work when you offer. They have to need the money, and they have to ask you for the money. Baby, can I have, or baby, can I get, or baby, can I, and I'll give it back to you such and such. That's the perfect way this goes. That's a perfect opportunity for the whole money test to thrive. They ask you for $50, $100, $300, $500. Excuse me. The longer that they have the money and you see that they got money coming in, if they pay you in small increments, or if they pay you in two lump sums, or if they give it all back to you in one, right? How long, how much, and you know what I'm saying? What happens is you get a better understanding as to how this person is going to treat your money, knowing that you gave it to them in the form of a relationship. In most relationships, you give a person money, they ain't giving it back. They ain't giving it back. But if you keep staying, you stay with this person, and then they keep asking you for money and you keep giving it to them, you did that. That is a doorway for fuckery that you opened, and you allowed it to stay open. Don't do that, because now you're in a position in a relationship to get used all the time. You did that. So you gotta give people the test. You gotta give people different tests. There's some dumbass people doing some dumbass tests, but we ain't talking about that. We talking about real tests that really work in order to understand how a person will respect your finances, respect your money, respect your credit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine getting with somebody and you've been with this person for 6 months to a year, and come to find out they just with you for credit. That you got good credit, they got bad credit. They just in here trying to get their credit cleaned up, and then they gonna cut tail and bounce. 6 months to a year, 2 years down the line, they just in this to get their credit right. There's some people that's really like that. How they will handle your money and your finances and how they respect it. You can watch them how they deal with theirs. And when they deal with theirs the way they deal with yours, you got some, you know what I'm saying? And they passing the test. They passing the test. You cool. Keep them around. Keep them around. But you just got to pay attention to these little bitty tests. You know what I'm saying? So the family test is you get your person, whether it be you know what I'm saying? If you're a woman, you get your dude around your family. If you're a dude, you get your woman around your family. This is in the beginning. This is a test, and see how she's gonna perform. She's gonna crack under pressure, or she's gonna hold up to some gold standards. You know what I'm saying? So you get this. I'm just gonna use this as an example as my woman, right? Get my woman, this new chick I just started dating. Get her around my family. Preferably my aunts, my sisters, my woman cousins. You get them around them, you know what I mean? And see how she performs. The idea is to get them to talk a little slick to her. Right? And even if they ain't talking slick to her, they talking slick about her, around her. So she low-key hears it. They just being a little funny. You know what I'm saying? They're not being blatantly rude, calling her names and all that, but they're just low key, just talking real slick. Like, he could have did better than her. Like, she's cute and all, but you know what I'm saying? Just loud enough for her to pick up on it. Here's the idea is, if she picks up on it and she hears it, one of two things is going to happen. She's going to suppress it, and she's going to take it to him when they leave. She might be sitting there with an attitude, but she's going to keep her mouth shut. Because by disrespecting them, she disrespects him. So she'll either keep her mouth shut or she's going to say something. Now, if she holds that in and she don't say nothing, and she hears them talking shit, and she wait till she get in the car and she got an attitude, and she be like, your aunts, your cousin, your sisters, they were just talking crap, and oh my God, I wanted to fight so bad, but I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. And that's when you say, really? You didn't say nothing? You held that in the whole time? She's like, yeah, oh my God, I wanted to fight. That was a test. And I'm glad you passed. You passed with flying colors. I love you. You passed that. That was dope. I really appreciate the fact that you didn't snap on my aunt, cousin, sister. You know what I'm saying? She passed the test. Now, if she stands up, you bitches ain't gonna be talking about me. You me, and she does all that. What did you just find out about this chick? Right? She played her high card. She ain't finna let nobody disrespect her. She gonna disrespect your aunt. She gonna disrespect your mama. She gonna disrespect your sisters, your whole all these women. She gonna disrespect all them, disregarding the fact that you gotta be around these people for the rest of your life. She gonna let her feelings take over her and just get loud with these people. These are women in your life. She's gonna let her feelings fuck that up for you. She's not the right one, bruh. Dismiss her ass. Because if it was the other way around and you was a dude disrespecting her family, I would expect her to dismiss your goofy ass. So don't do that. You don't disrespect nobody's family. You do not disrespect nobody's family. You act right. You take that shit to her and you let her handle that. As a dude, if my woman get to acting up, she's supposed to suppress that. She's supposed to bring that to me, baby. Your aunt was talking crazy. Your aunt called me this and she was saying this and she's saying that. In the event that this is not a test, and my aunt's really on some bullshit, some real bogus trash, I'm supposed to be like, baby, really? All right, let me handle this. And I'm supposed to go handle my aunt. Auntie, what's up with why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Why you treat her like that? That ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to go talk to aunt. I ain't supposed to get all off on her and be rude and nasty with her, but I'm supposed to let her know, Auntie, I love you. You can't do that to my, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta deal with this woman. Why would you disrespect, by disrespecting her, you disrespect me, right? I'm supposed to go deal with auntie, mama, sister, cousins. I'm supposed to go deal with all them. My woman is not supposed to deal with them like that. I don't care what they say to her. She's supposed to come to me and I'm supposed to go handle that. You know what I'm saying? If my woman, so there was a time where my son's mother, right, when she was pregnant with my first son, there was a time where she got her little attitude was just sparking up. She was pregnant and she had an attitude. She was real fiery, real hot, like snap out on anybody, right? And my dad was drunk, drank all the time, was drunk, alcohol, not just beer, not that heavy stuff. Anyway, and he said something stupid, said something slick, and it just got under her skin. And the fact that he smelled like cigarettes and the fact that she smelled like beer made her feel like she was going to throw up. And she just went to work, and Pops just poured his whole thing of beer on her. Mind you, she's pregnant. She's huge. Pops was bogus as hell for that. He's bogus as hell for that. And I think she was in my car, or maybe she had just stepped out the car. We just got back from going to go get something to eat, and she had her little outfit on. She was looking a little decent, not dressed up, but, looking a little good, just even though she's still pregnant. And he just dumped a whole can of beer on her. And she got out the car snapping. And I'm like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk to dad. Chill out. He's drunk. You can't say nothing to this man. He's drunk. She wasn't trying to hear none of that. She just, like, I couldn't even get a word in. She was going so fast. But as quick as I'm trying to calm her down, he's steady disrespecting her. But he's drunk, but he's still disrespecting her. So she disrespecting him, he disrespecting her. Now, here's the thing. I'm in the middle of it. Who do I have to check? I have to check him and I have to check her. It's not that easy to check your dad. And I don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't big enough to do it. I'm not talking about that. I would never approach my dad on that tip. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he was 80 years old and I know I could knock him down. It's not that. You don't treat your parents and your elders like that. But if I go to him, Dad, why would you do that though? Why would you say that? Like, I was just drunk and but Dad, but still, you know what I'm saying? You disrespect me. You disrespect my woman. You disrespect me. Like now, what? I'm not supposed to come around my dad no more because my woman don't want me around my dad no more? That's the type of conversation that has to be had now. And then I got to go to her. Same thing. Well, so you disrespect my dad now? So what? Now I ain't supposed to bring you around my dad no more? Is that what it is? So you have to get people around your family so that you can see how they really are. Now, I stayed with that chick after she did that. Now, she's my kid's mom. We even ended up married years later, but we also ended up divorced. And here's the thing. Part of the reason for me divorcing her was her mouth and her attitude. Same thing to make you laugh or make you cry, right? So when you live long enough, you learn some things that you could have got right, but you took too long to get them right. Take that as you will. But like I said, you use certain situations to learn a person, to test a person, to see what they will do and what they're capable of. And if you're not wise enough to put people in certain situations to learn them and to learn what they're capable of, when it all falls apart, joke's on you. You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't buy a car without test driving it. You know what I mean? You just don't. There's lots of things you don't do without testing it. You just don't do it. And a relationship should be one of those things you do not go into without testing the individual. There's too many weirdos, creeps, and freaks out here. You have to do right by yourself by checking to see what this person really is and what they're about. And it takes you to run tests on them to see just how far they'll go and what they're capable of doing. You have to take accountability for that. That's what you have to do for your life. You mess around and have babies by a person that was, you know what I mean? And I'm the first one to tell you, my oldest sister did that and she's no longer here. Well, because she gave the time of day to a person who wasn't worth her time of day. And the dude took her life. So you really got to test people and you really got to see what people's about. Otherwise, you end up at the shitty end of the stick. So you better watch that. Be careful who you dealing with. Some shit ain't worth it. They are so full of the cap, man.